Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a really good crafting week, and I'm here to do just a short walkthrough video of the layouts I made using Vicky Boutin's beautiful collection Artful Moments, and this is one of our Twilight Kit Club monthly subscriptions. So each month I like to just walk through the pages I've made. The kit is packed with stash, and you get 2 sheets of 300 GSM white cardstock as well. So it's great for some mixed media backgrounds. So this first layout, I started with one of the pieces of white cardstock and then used a 12 by 12 ink splat kind of teardrop stencil in the background. Starting with Distress Oxide, so I've got mustard seed, and then I go on to ripe persimmon, then worn lipstick, then we've got a bit of mowed lawn here, that bright green colour, and then we go into chipped sapphire. So with the Twilight Kit Club, we always give a colour swatch for your distress inks and oxides, and that features on the front page of our Scrapping Chronicles magazine. So once the background was made, I then use the little ink splat stencil that comes in the kit. So each kit comes with a Jenny Wren cut file and a Jenny Wren stencil. And so I added some tone-on-tone ink splats. I took this piece of paper, this is from my scraps, and I just loved it. It's an old Vicky Boutin paper actually, but I just love how the rainbow effect coordinates with the background. And then I fussy cut some of these paintbrushes, raised on foam pads, used some of the chipboard titles that comes in the kit, and then I fussy cut some of these butterflies from the background paper. Photo mounted on black just to make that pop, and a little laser cut clip. So my next layout is another mixed media page, and I decided this time to stick with the greens, the blues, the purples, and pick some of the ephemera pieces out, fussy cut some of the florals, and this background uses an acetate kissing technique. So you wet the acetate, you add some ink, and then you just dab the acetate all over the background. And then to build up the layers, you can see this is tone on tone. So you do the inky background first, then I've had some stenciling tone on tone, and then some stamping. So use any stencils that you have. These are some Carabelle Studio stamps and stencils that I just love, that are in my own stash. And then these chipboard pieces are actually from Beach Vibes chipboards, which is our previous sub kit. And then I use some of these chipboard pieces from the Artful Moments kit to embellish. And a couple of chipboard titles, an acrylic title, and then something I always love to add is lots of little details with these little pearls and rhinestones. I'm just going to see if the light can catch it there, the little pearls and rhinestones, to add a bit more detail. And so this next layout was a bit of fun. On our YouTube channel, we have a shaving foam technique. It sounds a bit mad, I know, but check out the video on our YouTube channel, and you make that mixed media background with some shaving foam. And then I used another texture stencil to layer up. And here there are lots of Nuvo drops to create a water effect. We've got lots of little Nuvo drops, and these are stamped and hand cut flowers from the shaving foam technique. So actually the only couple of bits from the kit were the chipboard pieces, and then these are Vicky Boutin's stamps that I have inked and cut out. This one again uses a few bits from the kit, the laser cut elements and the chipboards. I absolutely love this Jenny Wren cut file, love Lego, to document our trip to Legoland. And then I've used a 12 by 12 Jenny Wren stencil. This is available on the website, this beautiful 12 by 12 brick wall, and inked in those rainbow of distress oxides. Again, I love to mount the photo on black. I think that really makes it pop against the black, against the bright colours. And then some film strips from my own stash, and some of these lovely little laser cuts from the kit. This one, I decided to stick with the colour palette of the yellows and the oranges, and picked out some of these fantastic little ephemera pieces, the crayons and the pencils. This So Much Fun is a laser cut in the kit, along with these little laser cuts. Some of the ephemera I decided to trim off the white edges, and I do quite like to do that in some of the ephemera pieces. I feel it blends into the background more neatly, and some of these laser cuts and chipboard pieces just finished off this layout. Mixed media, again, it's all about the acetate dabbing technique, and then tone on tone stamping and stenciling just to add that texture. And then this one was a really fun layout to make. This is made using the 12 by 12 colour wheel paper that comes in the kit. And I cut each piece, distressed the edges, and then you can see I've raised some of those pieces up on foam pads to add dimension. Lots of the ladybird laser cuts and ephemera. This beautiful little tassel laser cut here, an ephemera title, and this was my own title, Magic, that I decided to add to the layout. Again, lots of little tone on tone gems and rhinestones. We sell these gems and rhinestones in colour packs on the website, and that just added a little sparkle to finish the layout. And then finally, this was, again, another piece of paper from the kit, this beautiful spectrum rainbow, but I didn't want to just keep it as a single sheet. This is a piece of paper in the kit, so that became the background. And then for this spectrum rainbow, I decided to cut it up. So I kept that bottom piece, and I actually cut this bottom bit off, and the bottom bit was cut into strips to make this kind of fan technique at the top. Another brilliant Jenny Wren cut file. There's lots of cruise themed cut files on the website. I added the chipboard title Live It Up mounted on foam, and then I couldn't resist adding some little puffy stickers, some enamel hearts, and little enamel dots from my own stash, and then a couple of little sentiments at the top. So the one thing I love about our monthly kits is you get loads of stash in the kit, but it also encourages you to look back through your stash and to add little accents and pieces to your layout and really get stash busting. So I hope you've enjoyed that walkthrough, and I look forward to seeing what you create.